Yo, 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 what is up? Monday with Molly. That does not seem to be getting better. All right, my friends. So today's message is about consistent, intentional, incremental improvement. I'm going to say that again. Consistent, intentional, incremental improvement. This again, like with everything we're sharing on the Monday with Molly, all the content is actionable, it is manageable, which allows you to keep moving forward to reach your goals, to create a life you desire and you deserve, which is important because you matter. And forward is a pace. This is another way to keep moving you forward. So I had heard this from my mentor once, as when I was new into the speaking business. He had given a talk and I heard that and it just kind of struck me. In fact, I have it on a sticky note on my refrigerator, right? Like eyesight. So every time I go into the fridge, I see it. Consistent, intentional, incremental improvement. Consistency is queen or king, whatever you choose. If you want to improve in anything, like anything, consistency is critical. And as you're doing whatever the thing is consistently, there has to be an intention behind it, like doing it on purpose. And I'll give you examples in a minute. And then it has to be incremental. You're not going to change the world overnight. No one really becomes an overnight success. It usually takes 10 years to become an overnight success because they're working behind the scenes doing the thing, and then eventually someone catches wind and it blows up or goes viral. Incremental, little manageable steps at a time, which allows you again to keep moving forward. And improvement. You always want to get better. You know, I follow Tony Robbins a lot, and one of the things he says is either you're growing or you're dying. So the improvement is the growing part. And again, it doesn't have to be major jumps, but little at a time. And I think this is important for all of us to understand because, look, you're on social media, I'm on social media. We see everybody else's highlight reel and we think, we gotta do what they're doing, or whoever you follow, whether it's an athlete, a musician, a celebrity, a YouTube celebrity who's like, you know, like just gone bonkers with their following and income and all kinds of things. They didn't just land there. It didn't just happen. It was done with these four principles: consistent, intentional, incremental improvement. We didn't know about them until they hit it big, but they were doing all of these things behind the scenes. We just didn't know of them at the time. So it's really important not to compare your real reel in your real life with someone else's highlight reel or likes or subscribers or views or all that jazz, okay? So let me give you an example. I'll give a personal example first, and I'll give like a general one. So for me, I shared in one of the other videos when we talked about fear versus uncertainty I was afraid of water almost my whole life. I almost drowned when I was 8, but I wanted to become an Ironman. There is zero chance that the first time I said, oh, I'm going to be an Ironman, that I was just going to jump in the pool and swim or jump into Lake Erie and swim. Zero. Because I didn't know how to swim. I was afraid of water. Like, I didn't know, I'd never put my head underwater. Or rarely, I should say. But I knew that if I believe you have to start somewhere. And once I start, for me, once I make up my mind, it's like game on. The thing will get done. The goal will be achieved. Maybe not right away. It might take multiple attempts. But eventually, just know it'll get done. I don't care if it takes me 10 years, which is like the Iron Man did. It will get done. So having this, your 20-cent, having this absolute supreme belief in yourself is important because it allows you to be consistent. So day one, I went to the local pool, put my head underwater, guy came up, went home. Next day, a couple times under, went home. Next day, a couple times under, but a little bit longer. Next day, consistently getting to the pool and then learning how to swim, etc. It was consistent action for 10 years to become an Ironman. The intentional piece. I absolutely knew that I had to believe in myself that I could do this. So I, on purpose, challenged myself. I was intentional with challenging myself to stay under a little bit longer, to swim with the pull buoy between my legs to learn to stay buoyant. to swim with flippers, to swim with the hand paddles, to take lessons, to get the wetsuit to go in Lake Erie so I'd still be buoyant and wouldn't drown. It was all very intentional of the incremental steps. So consistent, intentional, incremental, like I just mentioned, it's just slight little graduations in what you're doing. It's not like I put my head under water and then I swam a mile. Nope. Incremental. And these little baby steps, these little success steps that you stack on top of each other, eventually, little by little, they grow into significant momentum, significant progress. Like sometimes I think we're like, well, it was only like a little bit, and so we don't celebrate it. Yo, if you did it, celebrate it. You got to celebrate everything along the way, not just the end goal or the big thing that you did. Those little incremental steps you must celebrate, because that is the way. Consistent, intentional, incremental improvement. If you do all those three things, the improvement just starts to become part of the process. Again, little by little, sometimes you'll have bigger jumps, but seeing and feeling the improvement, and you look back and go, gosh, when I first started, I could only go underwater for 5 seconds without having a panic attack. And now I can stay there for 20 seconds, or now I can swim for, 20 minutes at a time. You have to look at the improvement, look back, see how good you did, look at the success, and be like, now I'm moving forward. Like, let's do this thing. Those 4 steps together, again, consistency is everything. It matters. It could be the same thing with you if you're learning, maybe it's something in school. Maybe you're taking a subject that's challenging. When I do presentations, I always talk about like math, because I know math gets a bad rap, but I love math. So where maybe you're thinking, oh, I'll never figure it out. When am I going to use this? And look, are you going to use everything you've learned in school? No, we know this. But you still can get better at things. Again, that's part of the growth mindset. You don't have to love everything, but if it's going to help you learn to be more disciplined and focused, then you do it. So if you're in a math class, what if you consistently raise your hand every time you have a question? Instead of thinking, I feel kind of dumb, like what if nobody else has the question? They have the question. If you have it, someone else has it. So maybe you consistently ask the question, you raise your hand. You consistently do the homework. You consistently go to after school help. Consistent, intentional, on purpose. You're planning out your week. Going, okay, I'm going to go to after school on Tuesday, Thursday. I'm going to have my friend who's really good tutor me on Wednesdays. That's intentional. You're doing it on purpose. And then incremental, little by little, you'll see that you're doing the math problems maybe quicker or with less careless mistakes. Then you see your homework grade, your participation grade, your test grades go up. And then improvement. Because of those 3 things you've been doing consistently, the improvement is just part of the process. And that's where you get that momentum. You feel good, you feel proud of yourself, you feel smart. Like, man, if I can do this, what's the next thing that I thought I couldn't do? But with these 4 principles, I can. That's what this does for you. Because you're always going to have a new challenge, a new goal. So you look back at what you did, success leaves clues. That'll be another video, but success leaves clues. And then you go, now I'm going to do the next thing because I proved that I can. So for you, post below, where is an area of your life that you've already done this or you know you need to apply it to? Consistent, intentional, incremental improvement to do these things to reach your goal or to get to your next level. Post that below, and as always, comment. As always, hey, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Look, you're on YouTube. That's what we're going to do. I'm like, yo, subscribe. So do that. I'll see you on Friday for Flip Your 20 Friday. Again, that's where I answer questions directly from you. So if you're a subscriber, you will be in the running for me to answer your question on one of these Fridays coming up. So you can either DM me on Instagram at flipyour20_, or you can email me at info@mollykennedyspeaks.com. It can be anonymous or not. It's up to you. If you're a subscriber, put your question in there. Let me know, and I'll answer those. You'll be in the running to answer those on Friday. All right. Let me know how you're doing your CIII, consistent, intentional, incremental improvement. You got this. Come on now. Flip your 20.